Hi, welcome to SPR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. Today's Wednesday, May 11th. We are talking NHL Playoffs betting with Dana Lane, SPR contributor. Dana Lane, we got just one game on the card tonight, Dallas and St. Louis, Game 7. Right now, this one, once again, I've taken the over in every game in this series. Most of the times I've been pushing, but sometimes winning. And of course, Game 1 went under. This one, again, I'll just start off by saying I bet the over when it was at minus 135. So when it opened, so I got a great number. Now it's all the way up to a minus 150 or minus 155. A lot of books have moved to 5.5. And as far as the money line is concerned, it's basically dead even. Market wide, you can find 105 on either side relatively easily, and I guess the issue here is just Elliott had problems in Game 6 in goal for St. Louis. Most of the playoffs he's been playing well. What are they going to do? Are they going to put him in? Are they going to put Jake Allen in? How is Elliott going to respond after being pulled in the last game? Not exactly certain. And also, after the offensive explosion by Dallas in the last game, St. Louis changed up their tactics to defend Dallas, which was actually very effective. So if they do that again here, then maybe the over, and it's effective. Again, maybe the over isn't such a great play. I don't know. I'm not sure what I think about this one. Dana Lane, what do you think? And what do you think about my initial bet on the over 5 minus 135?
Well, because of the way that the money's going, Pete, we're going to stay away from that over. I mean, it's out of our comfort range right now, but I do, one of our 3 plays, I do like the under in the first period, and it's at minus $1.23 right now. It opened at a minus $1.35, so you are getting good value with that line, and I like that first period to be a pretty hard-hitting period with one of these teams trying to take the upper hand, but I just think, Pete, that the intensity level at American Airlines tonight is going to be intense. Yeah. I think the other factor that people forget about is the fact that the home team gets a chance to make the last change. And what that means is that the road team has to put their lines on the ice first, and then Lindy Ruff has the opportunity to see who's out there and then put a line out accordingly. And I think that's huge when you take a look at Game 7s, and especially when you're trying to find advantages. And, Pete, historically, the home team in Game 7s have played very well. They've won 58% of their games, and there's a reason for that. And, look, the Blues are still 1-3 in Game 7s or in clinching scenarios. They're still 1-3, and they still have not made it past the second round in 15 years. And although I know that team is different than what happened 15 years ago, it does create a culture there. And until they're able to get over that, it's very difficult for me to go against Dallas, considering I did pick them to go to the conference finals, so I don't want to be a hypocrite, but. We do like Dallas tonight at even money in some spots. I see even at Pinnacle, minus 15 as a favorite in some places. You really are going to have to shop for this. But we also are going to take Dallas a minus $1.04 in the first period, which are getting a good number on as well.
Yeah, the market is all over the place in terms of the money lines for this. Again, if you shop around, you can come close to having no juice if you want to pick the winner of the game. And as far as the total is concerned, going back to that, just for my own purposes, because I bet this one, and for anyone who else is thinking the same way, in Game 7s, in basketball and in hockey, a lot of times I'm leaning towards the unders in general, but my sense is just that with the way these teams play, if Dallas is going to get the win here, they're going to do it with offense, they're going to do it by scoring, often and maybe early, as they did in Game 6, and we've seen Dallas put up, stack the points up against, we've seen St. Louis stack the points up against Dallas repeatedly in blowout wins in this series so far, so I'm thinking that maybe the over is a good bet, but you're liking the under in the first period. And as far as the full game is concerned, would you recommend someone off of a play on the over?
Yeah, I would definitely stay away from that, considering in Game 6, despite the fact that Dallas won, they only had 19 shots on goal. Yeah. So to me, the St. Louis really found a way in the second and third period and almost pulled that game out. But I just think I don't want to make it any more difficult than it is, but I think it's just a matter of home ice advantage, carrying them through, just like they did at the XL Center last night for Pittsburgh. And I think that Dallas is offensively the better team, and maybe at this point, even though St. Louis is better physically, this is our second Game 7 for St. Louis, and when do the cracks start to show? And it could be tonight.
Dana Lane, thanks so much for your thoughts on this one. Talk to you again tomorrow.